Okay, we're gonna continue on our road to Alaska for the 15 things that you definitely want to pack when you go on an Alaskan cruise. If you're going Disney, obviously the ears, but if you're not going Disney, either way, these are the top 15. So the number one thing is a charging hub. Something to know about all cruise ships, and it's a safety hazard. You're not allowed to have a power strip, but they have a charging hub out there that you can just plug the cords in, and then it plugs directly into the actual plug on the cruise ship. Most cruise ships don't have a ton of plugs, like in general, and most likely you're, what's up going on with my hair, guys? I'm like super distracted. Sorry. Most cruise ships don't have a lot of plugs. So if you're traveling with more than one person, like we're a family of 4, we need that just for all of our different devices so that we make sure everything's charged. Even like watch phones. Disney cruise ships are cool because you can talk to each other, like text one another through your phone within their app. If you're doing an Alaskan cruise though, if you have the right data plan, you're still in America, there's a good chance your phone's going to work, which is super cool, super helpful, instead of just like import. Okay, so number 1, charging hub, not a power strip. Number 2, sunscreen and mosquito spray. That's right, you're going to feel like you're, one day it's flipping cold and one day it's pretty warm. So making sure that you have mosquito spray, because you are going to a place that is wet. It's going to rain. You are going to be by bodies of water. You're going to want mosquito spray. Even if you are covered up with jackets and long pants and boots and stuff, you're still going to want it, because there's a lot of bugs, like a lot. And I don't know if they're as bad as the mosquitoes in Utah, but it wouldn't surprise me if they're pretty bad. So that's number 2, sunscreen. I'm a big sunscreen person. And mosquito spray. And number 3, binoculars. And what I've heard is that everybody in your party should have their own pair, because if you can see a whale, you do not want to be passing that around. You all want to be able to see it right away. And hopefully you've got a balcony on your stateroom, and that way you can see them even better. So binoculars, there are some travel ones out there that are like $15. It's just a good idea, especially if like you're going to go see a glacier as one of your excursions. There's so much cool wildlife in Alaska. I highly recommend binoculars. Number 4, something waterproof to wear. Poncho, waterproof jacket with a hood. My son, he's not gonna bring a jacket. He's not. He's almost 16. He is not gonna bring a jacket. He will bring a hoodie, and that's as good as we're gonna get from him. So I will bring one of those disposable ponchos so he can slap that on top of himself, which he is willing to wear. But I don't know, if you have a teenager, they don't like coats. There's no, it's like, oh, we're gonna go sledding, and I'm like, in a hoodie? What's the plan? You are gonna be soaking wet. No. Anyway, okay, poncho of some sort. They do have like the dollar ones from the grocery store that easy, tight to pack. Those are nice because then they're disposable. You can get a nicer one, but I don't know. We live in a desert. We don't need a poncho. And people have set umbrellas, but I'm like, that's gonna get turned inside out and blown away immediately. Number 5, sturdy, broken in shoes. If they're waterproof, that's even a plus, but it depends on what your excursions are gonna be. If you're gonna be backpacking through the Everglades of Alaska, I don't even know if that's the thing, or across a glacier, yeah, they need to be waterproof. You're gonna need something fancy. But if you're just gonna do some cute little hike through the little Alaskan rainforest, then you may not need waterproof. You'll probably deal with some rain. What do you want to do? But good shoes. Break them in. I'm wearing mine right now, and I'm breaking them in, and they feel real great. Gloves and like a beanie hat. It's gonna be a little nippy, especially in the morning when you're out on the front of the cruise ship with your hot chocolate. It's gonna be chilly. You need your hat, you need your gloves. I recommend gloves that have a touch screen, so you don't have to take them off when you're messing with your phone and taking pictures. I think that's number 6. Number 7, a good camera. A lot of people might be amateur photographers and have a fancy camera. I'm probably not going to go out and buy a fancy camera, but I do have an iPhone. It does a pretty decent job. There's some that have like zoom features, which is super cool. But these are some of the most amazing things you're going to see in your life. You're going to want to remember it and make a book and show it to your family. Number 8, I love the magnetic hooks because most cruise ship staterooms have magnetic walls. They're great for any type of cruise because the hooks, you can put your lanyard that has like your cruise ship pass. They can put your wet rain jacket or your poncho or your swimsuit or anything. You just hang them all over the wall instead of stuffing them in your closet that's already full of everybody else's crap. Just an idea. I love them. And I mean, there's like packs of 30 on Amazon. They're great. Number 8, a waterproof backpack. Because at some point you may want to take off that jacket, or you may want to put on that jacket, or you're going to need to drink water while you're hiking around or taking a beautiful train ride through Skagway. Like, do yourself a favor, keep your stuff safe, especially if you've got things in your backpack that are important. Waterproof, because it's going to rain. Count on it. Number 9. People have been saying this up and down. So what I'm doing is just trying to like get as much information as possible, and then anything I learn, I pass on to you guys. Everybody says layers. Well, what does that mean? That means at some point it's going to be cold. At some point it's not going to be very cold. So you're going to want to have a little bit of everything. Some shorts, waterproof jacket, possibly thermals. You're not packing your massive parka because this is the summer of Alaska. So this is like everybody else's fall or spring. Okay, so it might be colder, but it's not going to be, you're not there in February or in November when it's really cold, or December. So this is just to keep you alive. Maybe some thermals. Number 10, water wicking socks. Nobody likes wet socks, so get some good ones. Something that's not going to make your life miserable if you're getting rained on while you're hiking around and they're getting soaking wet. Something that kind of wicks them away. We hiked up the Narrows in Zions this last spring, and the socks that they had did get wet because we're hiking through a river, but it, like, the water just moved away from your foot. It just like went right past it. So it's really weird. So I don't know. Some nice socks. Good things. Number 11. You are going to want a swimsuit, because how cool would it be to sit in a hot tub and look at all the Alaskan scenery around you? It'd be flipping awesome. Also, some ships, not many, but some ships have covered pools. My daughter, that was a necessity. I know that Royal Caribbean has some covered pools. I know that Princess has some covered pools. Not all their ships do, but some of them do. Some of the bigger ones, like Quano of the Seas from a Royal Caribbean cruise, they've got one. And then the Princess Sapphire, I believe, has a covered pool. Still saltwater pools. That was my daughter's first question. I feel like Disney is the only one that doesn't have a non-saltwater pool. It has like a chlorinated pool. So that's 11. Bring your swimsuit. Bring your, swim shoes so that you can go and still get to be in the hot tub. Possibly the pool. Number 12. Motion sickness stuff. I think I have a whole video on motion sickness stuff. There's so many good things out there. And you might be like me. I am like the 1 percentile that if I take Bonine, Dramamine, anything like that, I'm out. I'm out for like a solid 24 hours. Can't wake up at all. Oh, it's non-drowsy. That's delightful. That doesn't work with me. Same thing with antihistamines. Claritin, Zyrtec. Like, I'm in that percentile that it will make me fall asleep. So I don't want to take any of those because I want to pay a lot of money to enjoy myself. So I do a lot of natural things. Ginger bites are great. Sea bands are helpful. You are on an Alaskan cruise, which isn't out in the open Mediterranean or in the Caribbean where there's some big swells. You still can, like, don't get me wrong, but it should be less motion sick. I do sea bands. There's also like an oil that you can put back here. I've tried the patches, which make me pretty much blind, so that's not fun or safe either, that you can get, I think, from your doctor, just a little prescription patch. There are relief bands, which I bought, and they're not cheap. And it works, but I don't feel like I would feel comfortable having it on all the time. Because what it does is it like buzzes your wrist and it like travels up through and helps you not feel sick. And I tested it out. All I have to do is spin in a circle a couple times and I will throw up. So I tested it out and it worked. It didn't make me sick, but it doesn't feel great to be buzzing in your wrist electrically all the time. So I feel like that's something I would take on a Disneyland trip. I'll still take it on this trip too. But like a Disneyland trip for like a ride that I'm concerned that I'll get sick, like Incredicoaster. I've never done it. I'm planning on doing it. I've always wanted to. Now I feel like I have a tool in my toolkit that it's not going to make me fall asleep and that will help me recover. I will say the second I turn it off, if I turn it off really fast after I've like spun around, it all comes back. So I have to keep myself electrically buzzing for a good 20 minutes and then see how it goes. So number 12, motion sickness. They do have on the ship like ginger ale and green apples. Everybody says things like that help. Good luck. Number 13, compression packing. If you're packing all these sweaters and thermals and crap like that, you're going to need some help. There is on Amazon, and I have an Amazon storefront. It's called Try Everything Today. Shocker. But it's like you put all your stuff in this bag, you zip it closed, and then you put a vacuum and twist it on there, and then you suck all the air out, and it's like goes from this to this. And then you just stick it in your suitcase, and you have tons of room. Still gonna be heavy. So take that into consideration if you have to check a bag. But it helps a lot, especially if you're doing a Disney cruise and you know you're coming home with a lot of souvenirs. Like a lot. Compression packing. Wish I'd had this for the last 10 years. Number 14. Alaskan cruises are not very formal, so even your formal night isn't that very formal if you don't want it to be. Some people on Caribbean cruises, dang, they go all out. They're wearing ball gowns and suits. Alaskan cruises aren't like that because they recognize you're cold and it's going to be a little chilly. So whereas on a Caribbean cruise you might be wearing this cute little thin cocktail dress, you're going to probably want a long dress with sleeves because it's going to be nippy if you're planning on being all formally. And number 15, which I'm still on the fence about doing, but everybody's saying online to do it. Waterproof luggage tags. So you give your luggage to the cruise ship people, and then they put it either inside, no, they put it outside of your stateroom, or even just in the hall. But in the meantime, there's a good chance that your luggage is outside, possibly in the rain. And if those luggage tags get wet and ruined, then your stuff's lost. So that would be bad. So I can see why the waterproof luggage tags is a good idea. You put the luggage tags that they give you on there, and then you clip it to your luggage, and then it stays there. Those are my top 15. Hopefully they help you. If you've got more fantastic ideas of what to pack for an Alaskan cruise, feel free to tell me. I would love any tips because I'm not going for a while, but I'm researching because that's my jam. Please like and subscribe, and I will try and come up with more fabulous things to help you on your trip.